Which is going to be the phone of the year for 2014? There are many contenders this time round, whereas in the past 2 years, it tended to be a two-horse race between Samsung with the S4 last year and the S3 the year before, and Apple with the iPhone 5S and previously the iPhone 5. This year, they're still obviously the leading contenders with the iPhone 6 coming up later this year and the Samsung Galaxy S5 having appeared a few months ago. But in between, there are now a lot of new contenders. Last year, for example, both HTC and LG came out with smartphones that many people regarded as the best on the market. And both of those have come back to market with new phones that once again appear to be major contenders. LG have just launched the G3 as a successor to their G2, which was a widely successful and popular phone last year. Didn't give them the market share that they would have wanted, but certainly gave them the critics' choice from many publications. So let's compare. I have here the G2, the G Pro Lite, which is the phablet that came out at the same time as the G2, and then the G3 to compare the three. Have a look at them. The G2, beautiful phone, small with a 5.2-inch screen, 13 megapixel rear camera and 2.1 megapixel front camera. So far so good. Then the phablet, the 5.5-inch screen on the G Pro Lite. And then finally, just launched the G3, also with a 5.5-inch screen. That doesn't seem likely when you look at the size and you put them next to each other. It's so much smaller than the phablet. And in fact, it's a similar size to many of the smartphones that have come to market with a 5.2 or even 5.1-inch screen. I call this the magic of arithmetic at work at LG. They've managed to maximize the display space on the front of the smartphone, putting a 5.5-inch display into a body that is usually only big enough for a 5.2 or 5.1-inch display. Let's compare the three of them. Look at the G2 with its 5.2 inches in a fairly small phone format, which is equivalent to what Samsung would have had their 5-inch display on the Galaxy S4 or even the S3. But that's not where it stops. What's also magical about the G3 is that it has not necessarily the biggest camera in terms of megapixels on the market, but some of the best technology that we've seen on a phone camera. They use something called laser autofocus that measures the distance automatically just as you're about to shoot a picture between you and the subject. And it then optimizes the image in terms of that specific distance and can even give you things like depth of field, which is usually what you only see in professional cameras. So the quality of the image that you get on the G3 matches up to the size of the display. It's also called Quad HD, which sounds like 4 times high definition, and that's exactly what it is. So the quality you get both in the images you capture and in what you display on this phone is quite superior, and definitely means that the LG G3 is in line to be one of the smartphones of the year for 2014.